Hello folks, my name is Travis and welcome to this edition of Hope on Wheels. In this edition of Hope on Wheels, I'm going to talk about something a little bit unique. And this video is directed more towards individuals that experience challenges. And that this topic is going to be pretty simple, but it's something that I feel I should bring up and just kind of give you something to think about. There is no right or wrong answer to this, and this is not an informational video. This is just something to think about. So this video is about does anyone that either you know or any person that is watching this video get to live a person-directed life if they experience a challenge of any type? And when I say person-directed life, I'm talking about, do they get to direct the life that they choose with the Do they get to live the life they choose with the supports they direct the way they want it? Sounds like a loaded question, doesn't it? It is and it isn't, because everybody's different. There's no right or wrong answer here, which is why I said that at the beginning of this video. But when I say that, I'm going to focus in on one specific area along that statement to narrow this down, which will make it easier for everyone to think about it. And that is this. Everybody that generally receives supports in the state of Alaska generally will have what is known as a waiver. I think most of you that have followed my channel for the time that I've had it up, which has almost been 2 years now, will know what I'm talking about when I say a waiver. Generally, though, when we talk about a waiver, we don't always think of the waiver in the context of, do I get to live a life? Unfortunately, because of how the Medicaid system is set up, it generally is considered by what are a person's weaknesses, not their strengths so much. And even with the strengths, when they do consider those, it's not really a big topic, because the way the system is designed, it's designed to say, this is what I need help to work on. And how I do that is your team or you and your care coordinator will design goals and objectives around that, and then hope that the state will approve what you're asking for, which is what gives you your funding to live. Or if you can't do it, your guardian will sit down with the care coordinator and the team, or just the care coordinator, and do that same discussion. Well, I wanted to say something here, and what it is when we're talking about a person-directed life, we're talking about even somebody that's nonverbal, or even somebody that is verbal but has limited verbal skills, can still dictate how they want to live their life with the supports that they choose and direct. You may have to figure out a way of learning how that person communicates if they're nonverbal, for example. But if they're verbal but the skills are limited, there are plenty of ways that somebody can tell you what they want and what they don't need. Sometimes it's not even a nonverbal situation. Sometimes it does require, even if they are verbal, but the verbalization ability of that person is limited, body language. But I'm not going to get into different methods on that. That's not what this video is about. What the video is about is, for those of us that are on the state system, which is probably just about everybody that watches this video, or at least people work in the system that are in this, that know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about waivers, is we all have what's called a plan of care meeting every year, once a year with our team, our care coordinator, or if you have a good care coordinator that really understands the system, it can just be the individual or the guardian of the individual and the care coordinator, and you guys figure this out. When you do a person-directed life, though, when a person's trying to live a life that they direct when they receive services, um, there's one thing that drives me crazy with plans of care, and that is everybody looks at the medical model and says, well, we need to identify what the person needs, what supports they need, so that the state will continue to fund it. No. In the meeting, that's got to stop. I understand that that's required by law in order to get funding. I'm not saying let's not do that. But what I am saying is, at least during the meeting, you need to figure out not so much what goals and objectives need to be. Forget that. When you have a conversation with somebody, you need to talk about what their hopes are, what their dreams are, what their ambitions for their life might be, and use that conversation, if you're a guardian or a care coordinator especially, to develop a plan of care. And you need to understand that sometimes some people with a unique set of challenges don't want to hear, well, we can't do that. That's not doable, because how do we write that up? My argument to anybody that's watching this video that is receiving services, if somebody says we can't do that, one, they're not letting you live a person-directed life. And a person-directed life also simply means a flexible system, okay? But you have every right to say, this is what I want, these are what my hopes, my dreams, and my ambitions are. And then that's, if you want, that is what your meeting is about. That is how the meeting should be structured. And then it becomes your team's problem, mainly your agency, your care coordinator, your guardian if you have one, all of that. It becomes their decision on how do we help this person get what they want. This is what they told us. There's no goals, there's no objectives, but this is what they want, this is what they want to work on, these are what their hopes, their dreams, and their desires are for this next year of their life, for the next 20 years, it doesn't matter. But how do we do that? And you as a consumer especially, and even the guardian sometimes, can say, this is what I want for this person, but I don't want to discuss goals and objectives, because I'm tired of trying to figure all that out. I don't want to know. That becomes the care coordinator and the provider agency's job, is to figure out all the logistics. You don't have to focus on, in those meetings, how do we accomplish this? No, you can say, I don't want to talk about that, and say, I'll let you figure that out as long as I get to where I want to go, or as long as the person I'm the guardian for gets to where they want to go, or where we would like to go together as a group, including the individual. Make sure that if you are a guardian of someone, that when it's the person, you focus on just their goals, their dreams, their wants, their desires throughout their life, and then you design the plan of care around that, which can be done. I do it for me. And I have 3 other friends that are a part of the DD Vision Leadership Program with me, and we all do it for ourselves. And one of them I should mention, just to throw it out there, is all there mentally. but he has trouble with speech. But he still directs his care the way that he wants. He still lives the life the way he wants. He has goals, he has dreams and aspirations. He builds his plan of care for supports around that. That's how he runs his meeting, not around what can or can't be done. So it's doable. But I just wanted to get this quick little topic out there about don't so much worry about plans of care and what has to be written as far as you don't have to focus on the goals, folks. You don't have to focus on objectives either. When you have the meeting, consider running it just like, how do you want to live? And not just how do you want to live. What are your goals? What are your dreams? What are your hopes? And how do we as your team, whether it's the support agency, whether it's natural supports, whatever, help you get there? And how do we design a plan that will help you get there? But designing the plan is the team's problem. It's not the individual that receives support's problem, because most of them don't want to know what's involved in that. They just want to tell you what they want. And then as a team, you come together and develop it. And honestly, I think when we're talking person-directed lives, that's how it should be. We should not have to worry about the goals. We, as people that receive services, or even guardians that help their individuals receive services, should just say, this is what the person wants. These are their hopes, their dreams, their desires. And that's what the plan of care meeting is about. And you move forward from there. And you are willing to make subtle changes, if need be, as the plan year goes on. Because you notice things have changed, especially for people that are nonverbal. Perfect example of that. But anyway, I don't want to make this video too long, folks, because it may or may not make sense to some people what I'm talking about. But if you have any questions, please feel free to leave me comments down below, or email me at T as in Travis, Noah, Noah, at hopealaska.org. I will leave a link to my email in the description down below. Have a great day, folks, and I will see you in the next video.